Stop everything, my friends of the macabre. Time to immerse ourselves in another chapter house spine-tingling tale. You need to hear about the haunted organ that plays itself at midnight. It lays in a shadowy room, buried deep within the old Raven mansion in the town of Ravenwood. There stands the ancient pipe organ. The keys are yellowed with age, bloodstains scattered upon the keys from what looks like to be fingerprints left behind with dust, clinging like a shroud upon its tarnished pipes. But at the stroke of midnight, something sinister happens. The room grows cold and the pipe organ begins to play an eerie tune, all by itself. The keys move with chilling notes that fill the air, echoing through the empty halls, with each melody more haunting than the last. No one is there to touch the keys, yet the music plays on. Some say it's the ghost of old man Raven, who was murdered in the loft some years ago, his killer still on the loose today, while others believe it's a curse by the old man himself. But one thing is certain: when the clock strikes 12, the organ comes alive. Now, someone has to oversee the manor's grounds, so who better than a frail town historian whose name is Cletus Clifford Bomb? Cletus takes care of all the properties of Ravenwood. He looks after them like they were all he had, and maybe it was. Cletus was dared one night by his co-workers to stay in the old manor and to prove the organ of old man Raven would come alive at the stroke of midnight. Teased and heckled, he reluctantly accepted the dare. Being the frail, nervous guy, he shrugged his shoulders and packed a bag and made his way to the manor. Finding himself there and inside, he unrolled his sleeping bag and took out his camera out of his bag. Soon he started to feel watched. A dark feeling ruled the house, as the wind howled through the manor's drafty halls. Unsettling as Cletus was, he made his way up the back staircase to the pipe organ loft, riddled with cobwebs and a damp, musty smell. But before he reached the top of the loft, the clock struck 12, and the pipe organ began to play its eerie, ghostly melody. It was enough to make the hairs on his neck stand up. He then reached the top of the loft, to only find the organ's blood-stained keys were moving up and down without any help. The music was chilling as the air around him, as the melody played on. His eyes wide open, his breathing was erratic, and he stood there paralyzed, shaking with fear. He then broke free of its trance and ran out, down the stairs, almost leaping out of the manor with a pale look on him, screaming, "It's alive!" And he had no proof to show anyone, but only his unpronounceable words he mumbled. Unfortunately, the haunted organ was still just a story without physical proof, and Cletus Clifford Bomb remains to this day to still cast a pale white stare when you mention Raven Manor's organ. So dare to listen at midnight as you pass the old Raven Manor. If you do, beware. You might not be alone. You might find terrifying horror. That's all for this chapter, my friends. Hope you can sleep tonight. Thank you for immersing yourselves in our spine-tingling tale. Please subscribe at Enough Silence Inspirational Music for Film and TV if you already haven't, and please leave your comments below so you won't miss another ghostly tale of the macabre. Thank you, and see you next cringing chapter.